my talk will definitely be focusing on the October seasonal, right? October seasonal dip, focusing on the US market. I do think that many of you may not know the continuing challenges that we have on our Bursa market. So meanwhile, we are in this area, right, of the Bursa market, we can always ponder to the overseas market, the US market. After all, when you turn on your radio station, the BFM, you can also hear people talking about the US market. There is definitely a lot of US opportunity in here. And tonight is an opportunity using SmartRobie, how we find those shares. As a matter of fact, it's pretty easy to find those shares in here. You can go on to the SmartRobie in here. But I want to just share with you a little bit on the macroeconomics and with plus USMART system, which is the collaboration that we're currently doing with USMART Singapore. They are a broker in here, and there's a lot of good benefit too in here. If you like it, you can sign up and open up an account. Give it a try, see how it fares in here. And of course, we will also be doing a Q&A, question and answers after that in here. All right, let's get started. Thank you for coming tonight. And of course, the agenda for tonight is what is the October seasonally dip, and do you say makes sense or not, Martin? You know, the market the last September month has been selling off, and I did talk about it earlier on in the live Facebooks of the couple of months in here. And no surprises, some of you may already know why we know about it, because we really go back and study, really back testing the system, back testing the stock market, and really know where it is. So we do feel that the October month, that you see right now is perhaps a buying opportunity, because it can be the lowest. But again, of course, using the volume spread analysis, that would give you a better indication, knowing where the support and knowing where the resistance is, and understanding, looking for sign of strength. And of course, not to forget the Pentagon Guider that many of you are familiar with, using from the SmartRobie as well as the DSA 360. These are the area that you can use to your advantages, And because if you do that well enough, and I think that there is some opportunity. And so October, I want to share with you, it's a low point. And what kind of opportunity is available? I would present to you a couple of stock trade ideas from SmartRobie, and some of the things that I've seen also like it. And then we invite our guest speaker in here, Miss Alice, right, Liu from USMART Singapore, to share what she has for all our members and the audience who's listening. And also from that trade idea that we talk about from SmartRobie, how can we put that in use together with USMART? Okay, so that will be the talk for tonight in here. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to share with you with a picture, right, why many people feel that what we are. It's like the bull market was going and going and going until end August. Then we have the September. Then we have the interest rate hike, which was in the end of July. Then we saw the market tumble. Then we have the US government shutdown in here. They awarded the shutdown, and then the US Congress House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted. There was a lot of uncertainty in here because they managed to avert the government shutdown, but that actually get postponed to November 17. So November 17 will be another round. So in this picture, you can definitely see, right, is this still part of the bull market, or the bear market with the short guy behind is ready to take over? What do you think? Let me know, the audience in here, what do you think? What's likely to be happening in here? Will the bear market starting to come back in, really strong that we have in here? Now, of course, I want to start off with a quote. Really, it sort of sums up, the mental states, and all trader, we all should be preparing. There's only one side to the stock market, okay? There's only one side to stock market. It's not the bull side or the bear side, but it's on the right side of the market. So this is why the mentality, if you are trading, whether you're trading a long term in here, this side, you shouldn't be selling. Right, because even though we have seen the pullback that we have in September, and if you understand the September month later on in the couple of slides, you shouldn't be out. But if you are the trading person in here, right, and you should be already out, right? Now, I hope you understand what I mean from that in here. Trader and investor have two different reasons in the market. And don't get confused. So you got to know who you really are. Are you an investor and a trader? And for our members who are listening in here, that's what I always talk about, the barbell strategy, right? Which is also what we are doing in our virtual trade paper trading exercises that we do for our members. And if you are not a member yet, you want to find out more about how we train our members to have such good results, which I'll share with you later, definitely towards the end of the talk in here. So are you on the right side of the market? Which means if you are shorting, if you are a short-term trader, then you should be out in the market or perhaps taking short position and ready to get back in. One of the ways, definitely look at the green pentagon, right? Whichever chart you have, looking at the index, use the SMARTRobie as the green pentagon in here, or you can use the, for the VSA 360 member, just use that one here. So back to our KLCI market now, okay? Now you all know that the KLCI market hasn't been, that fantastic. Really, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's been very miserable in here. And if you look at it in all are in place, there is a reason why we are seeing what we see here, right? And this is no other than, of course, what is it, right? It's due to the foreign fund flows. Now, if you look from here, the foreign funds flows started to dip. Now, way back when the market hit it about 1460, we do have lots of buying, but if you look back the last 5 days, they started to outflow. Now you look back in here, when they started the outflow here, market actually did back. So we need those guys to come back now. Okay, we need those guys come back now. Right now, Asia is one of the weakest. Okay, and today I think the market so fell another 5 points, but we probably do have some sort of support at 140. So keep in mind, as long as the foreign funds are leaving, you can see a market dip back in here. So we haven't got a big stake of selling so far. You can notice only 3 day, another 6 day, another 4 day, another 3 days. So let's pray, okay? Let's pray the foreign fund don't sell, right? And then we stay all right. Now, let me know what you think. If we are doing a good job and you're really getting the information that you needed, give us a thumbs up as we continue to share this great benefit of education and looking into macro things that we have right now. So if you look at the VSA 360 chart that we have in here, thank you, right? And you could see the market, we have this red line that we see here. Let me just bring up this laser pointer, right? This red line that we have here, this is what we call the big so-called support. It has broken in, it went up, and I thought that it could stay, right? If it could stay, then it is a bullish here. If it's not, it's deep back down. So right now, there is some sort of support at 140. Okay, let me just get this. Yeah, I bring it up, 140. So that will be the next level. And again, keep in mind, we've been down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, right? We haven't gone down so much except in June when we saw the rise of the interest rate in the market dip back down in there, and then the market started to break back up. So it is sort of in a hysteria sell-off that we have, right? And if you look back just on the slides, we only have 3 occasions of foreign funds really selling. So there's not really so much in it. But I do think that this becomes a buying opportunity. Now, I want my audience and also my member to train yourself. Whenever you see a red pentagon market started to dip, right? And of course, this is where you start to think to buy. At the same time, if the market goes higher, you begin to see sign of strength, what we call UT, ND. That's where you need to think to sell. I think that's why. So that's why the Jesse Livermore, one of the greatest trader, of course, there's a lot of literature out there. You can really Google him. He talks about there's no right or wrong side. There's no, bull market or bear market, the kind of side. It's always been the right side. And like what I said before, it's important that you stick to what I've just shared with you here. Knowing where you are first, determine whether you're investor or trader. If you are an investor, then this is actually looking a good period to be buying in here. And of course, investor must have investor strategy, as well as if trader, you must also have your trading strategy. And of course, for our members, we talk about the Pony Express too. And tonight I'm going to share a bit of a result from the Pony Express for the US market. It's still pretty good and pretty decent too in here. So let's go on. So next we're going to look at is the monthly seasonal. Now, as I said before, we were quite consistent. Those of you who've been following my live Facebook, for the September month, back in 2016 to 2023, summa everything, negative return. All right, negative return. And you can see after the negative return, about 2% in here, maybe we're going to get some sort of rebound in October. Is it going to happen this week or next week? So one of the things that will give us clue is use the SmartRobie or the VSA 360. That will give you the best so-called opportunity to generate this opportunity that we have. So October right now is still minus 0.28. It may turn. So that's why I want to also share with you, the audience, what to look for if should the market turn into it. Now, if you look from the Dow Jones, now this is Dow Jones futures, also broken the 200-day moving average, very similar to the KLSE. Now, do take note, the Dow Jones futures do contain some of the traditional sectors in US, like oil and like the finance, like the food, like the industry, which did not get the kind of lift off like what we saw in the month of August. Way back then was AI, right? You remember AI, is it? NVIDIA, Microsoft, and the ChatGPT, somehow it sort of died off already since last November. So the trend cannot stay too long. And then you also have the China and the US trade war, escalating to perhaps an invasion in there. So that kind of news just sort of pile in and continue to plague this market. So right now it broke through the 200-day moving average. Now we have some sort of an idea. The last time it tested in June, it actually hold very, very well. But now it is broken down. So that's what a lot of people are very, very optimistic, are very, very pessimistic about the situation and the condition that we have. And I can't blame them too, because you look at physically the chart, after all broken down the 200-day moving average. Now, if you look back in October, whenever you have a very steep drop in 2022, that's a quick rebound. A 2%, with the exception of 2020, that's where we have the COVID year, right? Most year, you can notice, if September is positive, then you will get negative October, okay? With the year 2017. So, I don't know. Let's hope that with the 3.7% sell-off that we get, maybe we get a 4% rebound in the month of October, just like what we had, minus 3%, then a 4%. If we get the 2% rebound, so what I'm trying to tell you is prepare you that the rebound for the month of October will be coming. Okay, the rebound will all be coming, and this is definitely from the VSA 360. And I'm going to share with you some other support too. Right now, if you look at the NASDAQ S&P 500, it is still strong, buoyant by the so-called the ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence, the electric car, and so forth. So it's still holding up at 1473. You can see here, lots of support in here, but no doubt it is still red pentagon. So we have to be careful. If it does break below the 1473, it can actually go lower some more in here. No doubt about it. No doubt. So charts is also important. NASDAQ is still above the 200. If you look at a triple Q, a 10% drop last year, a 5% drop, a 5% drop, all right, and then it rebound back, okay? So let's see, we get the kind of rebound that we should, okay? So that's sort of present a picture of why we want to see rebound. Now, going back to historical backtesting, okay, this was done by one of the author previously in here, and he had said that, look, this is a worldwide breakdown. If you look at the impact, right, the November to April, which is the black bar here, right? Malaysia, no difference from the US market. And you can see Malaysia from November to April, it's about, this is going up to 2000 to 2015 now. That's the bullish year, but now you notice Malaysia hasn't been that bullish anymore, okay? So with the exception, everybody actually seems to do very well, okay? With the exception of Japan and Switzerland, Germany, Taiwan, and India. Right, you can notice Hong Kong, United States, Malaysia actually was holding up 6%. That's from the November and April timeframe. And from the May to October, right, it is also positive, which is good. But what I'm trying to say, the picture here is the November to April, which is right now to next year, it's much better. And you all remember that phase, sell in May and go away. Remember? Sell in May and go away. And that's what it's all about. So when they sell in May and go away, they actually come back and starting to buy in November. Okay, so these are the remaining 3 months of the year where if you do come out from the long slip in the market, okay, this is where you want to be. So if you look at the global returns, okay, the global returns for the month, which is coming November. That's why I always say before, in August, I prep all of you for September, right? In October, I prepare you for the November season. So it pay benefit to share this video in your timeline of friends that is interested in the so-called generative market return, stock market, I suppose you call it. And it gives about an average about 4.7% in here. So that's actually giving you a lot of room to really prepare yourself in the coming November. Now, if you look at the S&P 500, the ETF, okay, one way to look at it in 360, we have the VOO. Those of you who are really interested in the S&P 500, VOO is one. And again, very similar. October, when you have a 5%, 9%, 4%, that's going to give you a positive return from what you see in here, right? Numbers are important, right? So it's hard to believe, but facts are facts. Okay, so after the scary September, okay, this is a scary September. This is from LPI. October is much stronger month. You can see September, since 1950, losing year one. Losing year, September losing year. Past 20 year also losing, right? The past 5 year, like it the road, because past 5 year we have the COVID minus 4%. Then the November, November month very strong. You see here, the November month, that's what we are looking for November. But right now it's October October month, if you look back last 5 years, about 1.5%, 2%. So just now I share with you the figures. Roughly, Of course, you really, yes, November month is good. But when to buy? Wait. This is where you use a SmartRobie with the Pentagon Guider to guide you in here. I'm going to share with you a couple of good fundamental stocks in here. And December, all right, it's a different story altogether. So probably you can buy right now, hold it until end of November, and then October, zao lang. Will that work? Well, depending on the strategy that we see here. So if you look back, October has a very average proportion of positive return. 60% of the time, it's a positive return in here. December is pretty good, 75% in here for the S&P 500. So you can see April, okay, sell in May and go away. If you look at this, sell in May and go away. May, sell, then drop. You can see these were the lowest month. So that's why October to April time frame, which is this month, November, December, January, February, until April, May, support. So these 5 months can go to sleep. All right. So is that the case? All right. But if you're investing longer term, it's also good itself in here. So this is something I've just shared with you earlier on. So now remember, in the earlier review of our live Facebook previously that we have, we did talk about down year. Okay. Now every down year that you have, the S&P 500 will rebound back one. Now this is precisely what it says. So for those years to have a double-digit down year, you can see 2008 when it was down 208 minus 38. This, remember, earlier in January, I shared with you already. I think some of our members would have known this. When it's down 38%, in 2008, that was the global financial crisis. You see it over here, and then the market rebounded back 21%. So right now, 2022, last year we were down about 19%. Market actually up about 10 to 11%. So it's correct. The statistic is correct. So that's why I really like it for the US is if you know your statistics, your chance of making money much better rather than you just bang and you don't stand a chance of making money in here. Okay, so that's good. So presented those ideal situation in here. Now, why November and April is a good time for stock? Now, there are 3 reasons that was presented by the literature in here. So I'm just going to share. One of them is tax loss. Now, remember in US, there is capital gain tax. As such that people want to clear those losers, like it's a loser, small one, they want to clear it so they can offset some of the winners that they made. Then they pay less tax because that's what you normally do when you have capital gain tax. So eventually, if Malaysia, hopefully touch wood, don't get capital gain tax, if you do, you probably have to sell your losers. So you offset the capital gain. So what happened is that when the people sell all their losses, okay, then they get back what? Proceed, isn't it, right? They sell all the losses, they get back some proceed. So what they use is proceed, and they know Christmas rally usually comes, which I talk about the November, December, and then January. So they use this to actually buy it. And also at the same time, what supported it is also the earnings season. Okay, the earnings season, some of this will be definitely in January. We get the year end, depending when is the closing. Some close in September, some close in September, some close in December. Most cases, people close in June and September. Then they release their earnings 1 or 2 months. And that's why we see the market movement starting to move, which actually due to the earnings season. Most cases, company, they don't release their earnings in December because of the Christmas. They want to be their family away, so they normally do the year-end physical year is always either end September or end June. Just keep that in mind. This is something we want to know the reason where the market goes. Okay, so these are the 3 reasons. So you can see from here, the tax loss selling hypothesis actually comes from a journal of financial economics, where the stock returns seasonally and the tax loss selling hypothesis. So investors sell their asset, right, in order to lower capital gain. And then Christmas, that's the one I always talk about, where December always outperform January. And I do think this year, December is also a good year too, right? So don't go away, especially some of the audience. And then the December month must be the month that you need to trade. Even you're on holiday, like it or not, you need to take some position into it. Because a lot of people, when go on holiday, they want to trade, and then they miss some of the big opportunities. Like I've shared with you before, right? We have to be very objective in here, right? And the earnings seasons, which is why we talk about here quarterly after that. So it's a summary going to our Q3 for the US market so far. Let's take a look at. Now, no doubt we have seen that the US market is lower in the last quarter, third quarter, which is the September sell-off that we have. But you'll notice that depending which market, it is still up to date. I know the Dow is only up 1 or 2% only, okay? But the Nasdaq is still up around the 20 plus 30% in here. So the best sector is energy. You notice lately, the last 3 to 4 months, the last 2 to 3 months, the Saudis as well as the Russians, they are ganging up together to cut oil production. So when they cut oil production, generally crude oil prices go up. And of course, the reopening in here, and also in China during the Golden Week. I think the Golden Week, where is the mooncake, they have 8 consecutive days of holidays in China, and generally most people travel, right? And we've seen some of the Chinese tourists traveling to Thailand. Unfortunately, today we have the Thailand shooting, so that's going to impact. So all this kind of traveling in between domestically will increase oil consumption too, right? So that's why MG seems to do well in here. Then the third thing we look at is US is still the best stock market right now. It outperformed the EU when you look at the UK, you look at the France, okay, and also outperformed the ASEAN market. Most of ASEAN market like Malaysia, all underwater. Maybe with the exception of Thailand is coming up because now they have a new prime minister, Jakarta, and we tend to review that on our live Facebook in here. And probably, I hope I'm right, US is done with the rate hike, despite what you hear out in the news that they still got one more rate hike in November, okay? But judging for it, I think if they raise another interest rate hike, likely US can slide to recession because they are trying to engineer a soft landing at the same time, not to spike up the price. And one of the reasons the inflation also spiked up is because energy prices going up in here, right? Do take note, and US is also a big energy producer in here. Maybe they can able to outbalance it here. Do what I say this makes sense? All right, if not, just give us a thumbs up in here and do share this video in your timeline in here. So what is remaining? Okay, now will October be the bear month to disrupt the market like I shared with you early on, right? What do you think? Okay, now based on the facts, right, it tend to favor the upside because we really don't have a big what we call black swan like what we saw on COVID-19. Now pending we don't have any black swan big event, market will actually go back up on either way. That's where I'll see it in here because this one all human induced one, like the interest rate hike, want to hike, don't want to hike, want to delay or don't want to delay. This all human induced one. Just like the US Congress, say want to shut down, last minute data shut down. Now they say to November 17, then November 17 will push you next year. Market will rally one. That's always the case how this market they tipu orang punya. So just keep that in mind. And I do think that it is not likely the case. So why this is important right now with SmartRobie, many of you have, after all tonight, I want to talk about SmartRobie. We have the US S&P 500, where we want to focus you guys on the US. Later on for our Malay friends, maybe next week I'll share with you a website where you can check whether the US stock is Sharia compliance or not. Very important. It's a free checking. I do know that some of the website, and perhaps maybe for USMART who is listening right now, if you can get hold a list of Sharia compliant stocks, I think our Muslim and Malay friends would definitely like it. It could be just a PDF file, so before they buy, they can check it out. That will be definitely great for them too. Because if you want to get some of our, especially the Muslim community in Malaysia, which many of them are very sensitive to Sharia compliance or not, I think that's really a good area to look at in here, because the local brokers are also focusing on that, whether they're using the Dow Sharia compliance or not. I think that would definitely help our friend like Faisal and Helmi. I think also US has a couple of great things. And I think I'll leave it there for Miss Alice Liu from USMART to talk about it in here. All right. And of course, our Friday session right now, remember, this coming Friday will be our first session, SmartRobie, right? We on the US market. So we will be looking at US market in here and take it as an opportunity for you to learn more about US market, what's happening over there, and find some US stocks. And you don't need to trade them, to be frank with you. You can just do virtual trading, try it out in here. And US also have virtual fractional trading in here. And I was told USMART broker come with a very, very cheap commission, which many of you are looking forward to in here. So with that, don't forget, follow me this Friday at 10:15 for the SmartRobie US show in here. And we'll be talking a lot about what's happening with the tech world and what's happening in the AI in here, and definitely even looking at some longer term, shorter term, whatever that fits you enough in here. So with that, we are currently working on a collaboration with USMART Singapore. And if you do open an account with them, you will earn a 400 credit here. Make sure you use the right code, NYVJPA, when you open up the code in here, or you can download it from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. Check out, it's pretty good. And I've used the app before. It's very similar to Tiger Broker and Moomoo, but best of all, now we are working collaboration with USMART. So whatever services that you have, whatever support, you definitely get it through them. As I'm one of the guys, sort of fronting for you. If you don't get the kind of service in here, this is the person you can talk to. So I'm going to invite Miss Alice to talk more about some of the benefits rather than I, take the USMART features away. So I want to bring in Miss Alice Liu. All right, so I'll just stop sharing in here. Miss Alice, are you ready?
Hello, Martin. How are you?
Good. Okay, you can. So I'm just going to mute myself in here, and Miss Alice will share with you for the remaining of the session in here. And later on, we're going to do a Q&A. All right?
Okay,
Alice?
sure.
All right, go ahead. Alice, all yours. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Martin. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the webinar tonight.
Alice, can you turn on your video?
Honored and cheerful to thank you. Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks for your kind reminder. Okay, here. Hello, everyone. Here's Alice from USMART. Thanks for your time for tonight. I'm truly honored and cheerful to stand before you as a speaker for USMART Singapore on this remarkable occasion. First, I'd like to express my heartfelt appreciation to Martin, which is for graciously being a part of this partnership. Martin do provided trading insights and strategies that do empower us all. I believe whether you experience the trader or new to the world of finance, Martin's webinar always holds valuable knowledge. So together, we form a partnership. We aim to assist you in achieving smart trading and making your investment easier. Okay, so first let me introduce USMART. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Yeah. First, let us meet USMART. USMART is from Singapore. Our headquarters is in the Roy Group of Building, level 12. If you came to Singapore, welcome to our office. Our website is usmart.sg. You can straight away go to the strategies. We come from Hong Kong, which is named the Total, one of the wealthiest company in Hong Kong. And number 3, currently we have already again multi-awards as a top 100 internet brokerage firm for exceptional trading experience. And we already have raised over 100 million. Okay, this is our license. We are licensed in Hong Kong, New Zealand, and Singapore. So currently, for what the market access we support is the Hong Kong market, US stocks, and Singapore stocks as well. So for the products you can trade is futures trading, US stocks trading, fractional shares, US options, ETFs, funds, and warrants. Also, we have the fund management as well. What's good in our platform, it's easy for you to trade the stocks, options, and also we have the 13 types of smart orders, which include like stop loss, grip trading, those kind of things. That's very smart. Also, we support full-time US stock trading in pre-market and after hours as well. It's also support for the free US market close and data and depth. Okay, so it's available for fractional shares trading, which is very good. So you can start from as low as USD $1 and also lower as to the quantity 0.001 shares. So that's very good. Okay, so for our brokerage fee, that's the lowest currently. I can say it's very low in the market. If you trade US stocks, then in our platform it's 0.003 per share USD. So, but if you compare to other brokers in Malaysia, normally you have to pay 0.3% of the trading value, minimum of USD 18 normally. So let's, for example, if you want to buy 2,000 shares of one of the US stocks, we named you, it's the pricing at 5 USD value, you have to spend about 10,000 USD. In USMART, you only need to pay 60 USD dollars for the total commission and the platform together. For the fees pay is 16 USD. But if you're trading other local brokers, then you have to pay around 30 USD, nearly double. Okay, here we go. Also, currently in our platform is a zero commissions for options trading, zero commission for US option and index option, no minimum fees, and free US options live quotes. Okay, so if you trade per contract, it starts from 30 cents per contract. That's very friendly. For our global customer support, currently in Malaysia, it's available for Islamist account opening, and also for our customer support team, if you download our app, okay, now you can search in the Apple Store or Google Play Store, you search USMART, USMART, then you can download our app. And if you need a customer service, you can stay in the Me page, have a later dolphin, and you will find our CS team. And also Paris, we also have a personal one-to-one guidance, which is in WhatsApp, very convenient. Here, if you're interested to download our app, then how to download. And tonight, we also provide the benefits or gifts for all audiences as well. If you download our app via the link, so the link, I think you cannot click the link, so you can scan the QR code via any of the camera. You can scan this QR code, to download, to open an account. It's very easy. You just scan the QR code and then to register and open an account. Around 3 minutes, you can finish all of the process. And normally it will approve in 24 hours. So if you open an account, if you want to get the benefits here, then you need to put the invitation code. Invitation code is NYVJPA. So please do take note, write down on your mobile. When you open an account for tonight audience, we give you the 400 credits in the SmartRobie. So it's worth $29.90. Yeah. And also, if you fund 500 USD to USMART, we will reward you around 1,380 credits in SmartRobie. So what's the step? So number one is the first step. You go to scan the QR code and open an account. Later, I will ask Martin to help us to put a link in the Facebook. You can click it. And step two, you will see your, okay, here you will find your USMART ID here. So in this page, me page, please tell Martin's team or our team for your USMART ID. So to other brokers. So,
Alice, sorry, your line is breaking away. Your line, Alice, your line is breaking away. Maybe you turn off your video, then it'll be better, and then go back one more slide for our live at Facebook. Alice, can you hear me, Alice? Yes, okay. You need to do screen sharing, but you can turn off your video. Turn off your video, then you get better bandwidth.
Okay, sure. Okay, so this is the stage for how to transfer from TDA to other.
Sorry, Alice, can you go back one more slide before this and then start from there?
Oh, sure. Okay, so this is for Robie users. An account code, you will be rewarded. Account, you will get 400 in SmartRobie. If you have 500 to US, then you will get 1,380 credits. So you only need to trade without the trading amount or trading volume limitation. So even $1, it counts. And can you access for 30, that's all. Then you can get 1,080 credits in SmartRobie. And now, yeah, just as you know, for TDA event, now people may go from how to transfer their funds from TDA to other brokers, or from other brokers transfer to USMART. So in USMART, if you transfer in, it's free, have zero. And also, if you're into USMART, we also have as well. Okay, so kindly here, please kindly note, you only can transfer stocks, no options, no options, only the stocks for transfer. Okay, here, let me show you the detailed procedure. Okay, when you download your USMART app, you will find you will find 5 tabs here. In the middle tab is trade, and you will here find stock deposit, and here just transfer from US stock as the market if you want to US stock. And then the broker name, you can straight away to click this one and pick the TD American support and put your account number. And here for upload statement, you just need to upload any picture is fine, even for the screenshot photo, any picture is okay to upload and put next. And here the US stock deposit step by step, put the next, and it's done. Submit, and then all done. And once you finish all of the here, you have to notify TD Ameritrade. So here is the template we have made ready for you. You just need to input this one to the Ameritrade. So very easy and simple. Here, and if you same. So if you open an account, you still can get 400. If you transfer your value up to 500 USD or over, you can get 1,380. Yeah. So this is all I wanted to share today. If anyone has any questions.
Okay, now if there's any questions, now with regards to the slide that Miss Alice has from USMART, I also have stocks in TD Ameritrade, which I need to transfer over. And one of the previously benefit that we were talking about USMART or previously with Ameritrade was, what was that? You'll remember that free commission trading, right? And usually when we have all this free commission trading, they cannot last long one. It started, I think they only run out about I think about a year plus, okay, where they have free trade. Of course, there's some restriction in here. Eventually, TD Ameritrade in Singapore have to switch their business model. And many of you who are in the TD Ameritrade or Think and Swim would have to probably transfer the shares out. Just like me, I now have to transfer my share out too. So these slides, you can re-watch back the video, but of course, those of you who follow me on a Friday breakfast show, I'll probably repeat this again and get you guys right on track in here. So I just want to continue from where I left off. Okay, I'm just going to stop Alice screening here and bring you guys back to me. So you can see from here, one of the great things which I've been talking about is the ability to transfer the share out and no cost. And also, we are working very closely with Alice and her team. So we're going to be getting very good quality service and support. There is easily a transfer of funds. And after all, it's already been approved by MAS. And that's one of the things we want to do. The other question that I may have for Miss Alice is perhaps clarify about the Islamic account. How does it work for our Muslim friend here? If you can have some information, perhaps you can share tonight. Alice, you need to unmute yourself. If you don't have the answers, that's fine. Okay.
I didn't get the question.
Alice, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
You talk about the Islamic account. Can you share some details on that?
Okay. So regarding the Islamic account, so it means use your account, use your ID to here. That it means some limited stocks you are not able to trade, so you cannot trade. So once you open.
Your line is breaking away, Alice. Okay, never mind.
I will in the next slide.
Yeah, your line is breaking away. Doesn't matter. I will work with Alice to get some sort of information for our Malay friend and for our Muslim friend here. And when it comes on Friday, I have an answer for you about the Islamic account. Okay? Because it does look like her line is breaking away as she is maybe outside or outstation in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I would continue on with the remaining slide that we have. So we done the USMART. So a big thank you to Miss Alice for her generous sharing of the credit. Now remember, if you do go and open up an account, I have given you a URL here. Make sure you use the right code so we are able to track your progress with the benefits that you should be getting from USMART. I think that's quite important in here. So let's talk about the US stocks. Okay, now when it comes to US stock, couple of stocks that I really like that is coming up nicely is the XOM. Okay, now if you look at XOM right now, let me just go bring over to the stock XOM, or you can use SmartRobie but just for tonight, I'm going to show you it here. You will definitely see it is a green pentagon, but it's coming down in here. Now that is also because crude oil prices is coming down, but it will build a nice base there. And if you haven't really turned a red pentagon or green pentagon, that's actually a good opportunity to buy XOM. If you look at XOM from the SmartRobie that I have, let me just check it in here, right? SmartRobie, I'm just not going to show you, I'm just going to read out from my SmartRobie apps. And if you don't have a SmartRobie apps, do download it and check it out. XOM is riding on the energy sectors, which I talk about. And I do think those Russians and the Saudis will continue to cut the so-called oil production to keep the prices high. These fellas all are. Okay, let's look at the stock fundamentals for ExxonMobil. Definitely, you can see here, it is rated 6 out of 8. It pays a 3% dividend with an ROE of 27% and a PE of 9 times. So that's pretty good, right? That's a good one in here. Next, I have, let me just make it a bit smaller here, is V. Okay, one of the stocks that I like is Visa in here. It's still in the downfall, you notice, right? For Visa, V, right? But we have to wait for the green pentagon now. Now, why we talk about this is just what I've said before. If the November month, okay, if the November month to April is going to be a strong one, this is right now supported here, okay, supported here. And again, this is more for the next year. It pays a 0.78 PE of 29 times again, right? You can see this, or you can use the SmartRobie apps for this one. So you can type V here, right, and hit send. And then go for stock fundamentals. I'm reading again from my phone here. So you will also notice V pays 0.7%, a PE of 29 times, is rated 5 out of 8, but it has an ROE of 48. Definitely very profitable. It's not green pentagon yet, right? So you have to wait for. Next is the technology sectors. Okay, so we have one from the oil and gas. We have one from the payments, so-called fintech. And we have Microsoft. So Microsoft just turned green pentagon today, holding on after the big seller that we have yesterday. I think when the so-called resignation of Kevin McCarthy here. So you can see, so we're coming up from a very low base. For this is going to be a play on the Nasdaq. And again, Microsoft really benefiting also from the ChatGPT and the AI, very similar to NVIDIA. All right, if you look at NVIDIA also, green pentagon also sell off, all ready to jalan. Remember, if what we said earlier on, my review of the third quarter, that US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, if they are not going to raise interest rate, this is going to move up. And again, playing into the November month, November, December, and pushing on to April, you will get lots of good month going forward. So last but not least is everybody's favorite, which is also my favorite, is Apple Incorporated, which is in the downtrend, similar to Microsoft in here. Of course, the iPhone 15 that came out have a mixed reviews. The Chinese people like it, then it's a bit hot right now. They say the phone is a bit hot, so they're going to be fixing in here. And they couldn't make it on time or couldn't deliver on time because there's just a lot of these order for the iPhone 15 in here, right? So there was a question here, can I transfer US dollar cash from TD Ameritrade to USMART directly? That is a good question too. I'll post this question, Adif, to Alice. And if Alice is listening right now, if you can answer, Alice, it'd be great. There was a question posed here. If you can turn off your mic, I'll probably let you come in too, because we are here to service our customers and our members too, and also the public, right? If you can unmute and if you can perhaps reply on this question, that's fine. If not, we'll just probably pick it up on Friday.
Martin, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so how to transfer cash straight?
No,
to
your
the
line is breaking away again. Your line is breaking away again. Never mind. I think we will do this offline, and I'll pass the message to Adi later on the Facebook, because it's very disturbing. You're come on and off the line. Is that okay, Alice? Yeah, I can't hear you again. Okay. It was good at the start, but towards the end there, the line.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so I'll just continue. So looking at micros, there are some other shares, okay, that is not on the S&P 500, but we will cover them maybe on Friday in here. But generally, US market being a very foreign country. And if you tell our Malaysian audience who is listening right now, maybe some of you are from overseas, you buy stocks that you never hear of. Like one of them I like is SHIP, which I found it through our VSA 360. Right? It's called Synergy Maritime. Okay, so you can see this one has a green pentagon pullback in here, and a lot of stocks pull back and then started to push back up, but it has a nice accumulation in here and still low volume. Let's take a look at it, whether this is going to go up or not. All right, but I like this because, again, going back to what I shared earlier on about the Pony Express, that is certainly very good. All right, so those are the shares I'll be looking into. Now, our best trading strategy, US market, will still be Pony Express. Now, due to the time remaining that we have, I'll probably bring this to the next session live Facebook. By the way, next Wednesday live Facebook, I'll be away from Tuesday to next Wednesday for 2 weeks. So just keep in mind, there won't be any live Facebook for 2 weeks. I'll be back on the 23rd onwards for our live Facebook in there. I'm just going to be away for a business trip in here. So there won't be any live Facebook. So this one, I'll keep it for the next 2 weeks session in here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And I really do want to end our session right now here. So due to the remaining time that we have, I will fast forward to this summary, and then we'll close off the session. We don't want to keep it too long too. All right. So there are strong facts that is presented for the October, right? October-November rally, as we likely to see October bottoming up right now. Okay. Some of the shares we share with you, I do think that the big heavy cap stocks, many of you are familiar with their earnings season in here, and you all know that they do offer some sort of a product in Malaysia that you're familiar with. ExxonMobil being both upstream and downstream. Apple, we know them for what they are. Microsoft, which is almost synonymous when we open up our email, right? And also, some of you who are considering transferring your account out from the so-called TD Ameritrade, which I also have this issue too. And some of you who are looking into US, this will definitely be a good time to do this right now. Okay. Yes, I have a reply now from Alice. Unfortunately, the question just now was, can I transfer cash from TD Ameritrade to USMART? The question is no. You need to withdraw it first and then deposit to USMART. All right. Okay. So I hope I answer your question, Adif. Okay. And so why we want to do this is that we want to ensure that the support behind all your buy and sell are so-called assisted. I think that's the old day about it, because when you buy foreign shares in here, we want to make sure that we have someone from USMART. And thank you to Miss Alice for coming tonight in here to share with our members and the public and also our fellow members that they can have a good broker that can rely on and maybe save some money to a cheap broker. And of course, those of you who prefer our local broker in Malaysia, I also have a list of those in there. Let me know in here. So it's a good choice, a good mix of it. If you want to trade more like the Pony Express, the method, which is the VSA Turbo trading system, definitely something like this is worthwhile. Because previously, we were already talking about TD Ameritrade, and after a year plus running on free commission, they cannot survive. right? Everything is very cheap, right? Everything is very, very expensive, right? Even my nasi lemak has gone up already because of shortage of rice. So a lot of these services that offer almost free stuff cannot survive, and they still need some sort of a minimum cost to survive. And I hope that you all understand that all of us are in that kind of environment. And same too, we appreciate Trade VSA here, appreciate all our members and all our public here for supporting the Trade VSA platform as well of the SmartRobie. Thank you very much in here. So the Pony Express VSA Turbo Trading System is something that we are currently still recommending going forward in here. Tonight, the US market one, I'm not able to present it, so I'll keep it for the next session that we have, so you can come back some more. So more importantly, invest in yourself, invest in the VSA method in here, right? So VSA with SmartRobie, powered by Pentagon Guided in here. Make sure you have that and continue to follow us on SmartRobie. And if not, join our Telegram Smart Room for our free stock market information. And if you have any question further, feel free to pencil in there. Else, I'll take a leave and I'll be back on Friday at 10:15 for our US market with SmartRobie. Thank you again and good night. Thank you to our fellow speakers, Miss Alice Liu from USMART Singapore. We'll be catching up with you all guys later. Bye-bye.